Hi. Alright, I'm gonna do some NBA talk. I haven't done a little NBA talk, video blog in a while. I'm back posting a lot more videos. Trained a lot of jiu-jitsu, hitting a lot of weights, a lot of cardio. I'm moving to Vegas about a week. January 2nd. Anyway, it's an NBA. Let's do an NBA. Just random NBA talk. I'm looking through the standings right now. It's the first time looking through them. I've been keeping up. I was in Vegas for a week. I was betting some games. I try to put a game on every night, just stay in tune. I mean, so many things change throughout the season. It doesn't really matter, but you can kind of get a good gist of things, or maybe some surprising things. Somebody like to see maybe the second half of the West, second half of the East. Something that catches my eye right now, I'm looking at the West. Golden State first at 26-4, San Antonio 23-6. Then after them, Clippers 22-8, and Houston up to 22-8. Houston's 9-1 in their last 10. Houston's 10-3 on the road, 10-3 at home, 12-5 on the road. Houston up to 22-8. Harden leading that team, and they had their two signings who they spent a lot of money on, which a lot of teams spend a lot of money on two players, but who are playing at a high rate on top of already having James Harden. Is they paid Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon, and both of them are playing at a high level right now, which is benefiting the Rockets. And with D'Antoni there as the head coach, they're just running up and down scoring. And Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon are the two type of spread out players that James Harden needed around him. So the Rockets can score with anyone in this day and age in NBA. It's about who can score the most realistically. It's not really a defensive team. I think Utah Jazz are number one in defense. Warriors are number one in offense. They played the other night, and Warriors at some point those spurts just come. They can hit the threes now. It's just more of an offensive game. So with that being the case, the Rockets at 22-8, they're dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the Western Conference Finals, or at least not the top four. The Clippers look good too. Chris Paul got hurt last night though, but I like the Clippers without Blake Griffin. I honestly think Blake Griffin can put up stats throughout a season, but he's not a fourth quarter player. The stats say that his fourth quarter scoring is his lowest scoring quarter of any quarter. If you just watch him, he's soft. You know what I'm saying? He gets soft in the fourth quarter. I like Maurice Spates in there more. Last night they were playing DeAndre Jordan. The Clippers are playing Chris Paul, JJ Redick, I think Bamute, Spates, Jordan. I like that line. Spates is a stud after being on that 73-9 Warriors team last year. I love him. He spreads the court. He shoots a three better than Griffin. I think he's tougher than Griffin. I just like that grittiness. That's what the Clippers need, is that toughness. Anyway, and then I would have DeAndre, Chris Paul, and even I like the Chris Paul, put JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, Bob Mute, more of an offensive lineup. But Clippers could be good. We'll see what happens with them. Spurs 23-6, still sitting there, looking tough. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi Leonard's turned into a complete savage, so that team's always right there and fighting chance. And Warriors at 26-4. Looking tough. Looking like they're going to be tough to beat. That's what I'm saying. I think you're going to have to really be able to score with them. That's why a team maybe like the Rockets meets them in the West Conference Finals, gives them a dogfight. But who knows? Clippers or Spurs. Any team outside of there, Memphis is sitting at 5 right now. Utah at 6. Oklahoma City at 7. Portland at 8 at 13-18. Leaving the door open. Sacramento at 12-17. Denver at 12-17. Lakers 11-21. New Orleans 10-21, Minnesota 9-19. Even Dallas 8-21, Phoenix 8-21. They're only 5 games back in the win column. Really, anyone can still make the 8th seed in the West. That's funny. Portland's leaving it open. It's in there at 13-18. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth talking about. This is the only team maybe worth talking about. The Jazz, like I said earlier, because they're the number one team in defense this year. Utah Jazz, and they're sitting in the 6th seed right now. Maybe they see a 3-seed Clippers or something, or a 2-seed Spurs, or whatever they see, and end up maybe able to beat one of these teams just with some defense. But Gordon Hayward still doesn't look like the kind of guy who's going to lead a team that deep. He passes too much. He doesn't look like he's ready to take the big shot. Rodney Hood's been hitting some shot for the Jazz. Like I said, the Jazz are a nice, tough team. They got George Hill now, Rudy Gobert, one of the best shot blockers in the league. Young Dante Exum, Derek Favors. But the Jazz team is gritty and tough. And then the big scheme of things, I don't see them beating the Warriors, Spurs, Clippers, Rockets. But that could be a dark horse. In Memphis, you always got to consider a dark horse, even though I always just see them lose to the good teams too often. I've also seen them beat them, But like I said, so Memphis and Utah outside looking in. Westbrook and Thunder, I just don't think they have enough of outside of Westbrook. So yeah, maybe Memphis, Houston, Utah. Memphis has always been a dark horse for me the last couple of years. I always consider them a dark horse. Now Utah almost looks like a new Memphis. But Marc Gasol's playing really well for Memphis. Mike Conley got paid $150 million, NBA biggest contract in the NBA right now. Mike Conley. So, but yeah, that's where we're at in NBA Western Conference talk right now. I was gonna do a whole just on NBA, but I guess I'll. Let me look on the Eastern Conference right now. I mean, the Eastern just not that much to talk about, really, honestly. So, I mean, the West is more interesting with Cleveland at 21-6, Toronto at 20-8, Boston at 17-12, Charlotte at 16-13. But no one's beating Cleveland. Actually, there's not much. There's not an Eastern thing to talk about. So, I mean, it's Cleveland versus the Pack. No one. If I had, I mean, people like Toronto at 28. I like to see Knicks turned on, but I just don't ever see them. You know, just with D Rose and Melo, Courtney Lee, Noah. But yeah, it's Cleveland versus whoever comes out the West. But there's like, I still think though, any of the teams that come out the West, Houston, Clippers, San Antonio, Golden State, could all beat Cleveland. I think that's what makes it interesting, who comes out the West versus Cleveland and LeBron type shit. So, and then MVP through first 29 games or something, or however many games there's been, almost 30. A lot, I guess, Westbrook or Harden. I like Harden. Just on some winning thing, I think your team, like Oklahoma City 17-12, Westbrook got those triple doubles, but why aren't you guys better record? I like Houston 22-8. My MVP right now is James Harden. Yep, James Harden. And he's averaging, let me see exactly what he's averaging just real quick. Let's see. There we go. Let's see, season leaders. There we go. James Harden leads the league in assists. Okay, Russell Westbrook 31, second in the league, 31-11. Harden is averaging 27.8, 11.7. Harden just on some assists at 12 assists a game. Here we go. He's averaging 28, 12, and 8. 28, 12, and 8. 28, 12, and 8, leading the league in assists. Just such a turnaround for such an already high octane player to now be leading the league in assists. That's pretty impressive. And then let's just see what Russell Westbrook's stats. Yeah, he's having triple double, 31. If you round him up, he's averaging 31, 11, and 11. I mean, for the fact he's having a triple double, that's pretty impressive. So I guess you have to get to Westbrook. Now I'm gonna switch back and go to Westbrook, but. We'll see. If he keeps the triple double the whole year, I guess you have to give it to him. But if not, and the Rockets have a lot better record than the Thunder, I'm going to James Harden. But midway, I guess you got to give it to Westbrook for the triple double.